Thank you. Hello, everybody, and good evening or good afternoon to you, wherever you may be. We're back again with another edition of Humongous League Baseball, perhaps the final big game of the year 2023. We have Mattitude hosting Nate Tastic today at Sandy Flats. I am Rajas, and with me is the birthday boy, Loba, to see Mattitude and his perfect 3-0 record taking on Nate at 2-1 tonight. Loba, what are some early thoughts you have as we kind of gear up for this one?
What's up? We're heading into this game. Another game at Sandy. Is it at Sandy this game? No, it's at
Yes.
We're gonna be at Steel Stadium here, right? No, it is Sandy. Oh boy.
Wishful thinking.
Should be a fun one. With Mattitude's team still undefeated. Beating some good players already, like Schwilly. Started the season off with a good victory against them. You've got, of course, Nate kind of expecting... Usually Nate knows how to create some offense out of teams that otherwise are very defensive and stingy. So that should be nice. I don't want to see another 1-0 game here. At Sandy, usually there is some scoring to go on, so who knows? Could all come down to one play. We could just have a scoring bonanza, depending on where these balls go out. You've got the home run bros, Sosa and McGuire. I know a lot of our formative years were spent watching those guys just do their thing and go for the big home runs here. And you've got, of course, Frank Thomas pitching for Mattitude. Nice little 1-2-3 punch there. And for Nate, he's back with Pete Wheeler again this year. And, Pete at Sandy, any decent hit is going to potentially be in the ballpark home run for him. And then he's got his... trio of blondes, Emily, Alexis, and Maya, who all can go yard. Fabian, Piazza, a lot of power on Nate's team. So power at Sandy, usually a pretty good thing for getting out in that huge outfield. So I don't know if these teams, looking at the outfielders here, man, I don't know if there are any insanely good, like speedy outfielders besides Pete. So Nate has an away game here, but I don't know. I kind of like using Pete in the center field here. It could be a good setup for him. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on both rosters. Certainly capable of pulling out a win with this, with I guess a little bit of speed there with Pete, and then the power as you mentioned. Yeah, the last one was a 1-0 win at home for Matt, and it was a walk-off homer with Mark. So that could be what we see. We could see runs. HC predicted 5-2. If we had over 6.5 runs, that would be pretty spectacular in this, but I guess we'll see.
I just really want to see I really just want to see a Jose Miesenheimer in the ballpark home run. It's very possible here.
One somewhat funny thing, there's Frank Thomas on Mattitude's team. If you didn't see the headline for this morning, there's a different MLB player from like the 60s and 70s, also named Frank Thomas, who died earlier this year. And Fox News ran an in memoriam segment that wished Frank Thomas the Big Hurt, wished him well for having died in 2023. And of course he did not. So good times.
Nah, he's on way too much Nugenics to be dying this early.
It really is. I know it's a video game, but it does feel weird, Sammy and Mark being on the same team. I don't know if it feels awesome. I don't know if it feels awesome or it just feels weird.
That'd be awesome in real life.
So yeah, Vicky in left I think makes some good sense. I had Vicky in the outfield in a previous season, and she does better out there than you'd think.
Yeah, the 100 coordination really helps. She's as graceful as a swan. Has a pretty decent arm. Kind of the perfect outfielder.
I think I got like a handful of 9-3 putouts from right. It was kind of nice. But here we go. Again, 3-0 record for Mattitude at home, and then 2-1 for Nate. So two very solid, experienced players, and hoping to cap off the year with a good game. I think that's all we can hope for.
On the mound today is Frank Thomas.
And speaking of Frank Thomas, who's very much alive, he's going to start for the Padres.
In the position he was born to play. Big pitcher. Best pitcher in the game.
It is a curious thing why the devs would choose to just give an in real life position player like an amazing arm and pitching in this video game.
Well, it started with football, the first game they added the pros to, and they just decided to make Brett Favre the ultimate wide receiver for whatever reason.
Pete
Probably
coming
because he
in.
caught his first his first ever pass was caught by himself in the NFL. Maybe it was a little nod to that.
That's exactly what you're saying. Drive to the outfield, but Sammy shaded over and makes the catch. If someone's not there for that, that's definitely extra bases.
Looks like we got, I want to say Jordan. I would imagine that's not Jose out there in center field. The Dante clone locking it down at what I feel to be the most important position here. Yeah, Sandy is going to be a lot of quick grounder outs like that. The exact opposite of dirt, where anything hit too short is pretty much an instant out.
Yeah, for anybody out there that has not watched a game at Sandy Flats, that play you saw right there, get used to about 2 more dozen of them.
Yeah, Emily Lubel up, the clone of Larry Walker. Very capable home run hitter.
Only 1 for 9 so far this season. No extra base hits, only 1 ribby, 1 run. She's due.
Hit one towards us and had to flinch.
2-strike pitch here. Put a good charge in it. It is Jordan in center.
Ooh.
Just falls in front, and there's the first hit of the game.
If you miss it like that at cement, that could be an in the ballpark home run. Here at Sandy, nothing too much to worry about. If you miss a throw, that thing's just going to die immediately.
Little chopper in front of the mound for Fabian, and I think we could wait about 20 minutes and still make the out at first there. Sammy leadoff. I like that.
You want to give Sammy as many bats as you can throughout the course of the year.
And this truly is the kind of game where the leadoff hitter, I mean, maybe, you hope gets 3 ABs.
Well, Mattitude is almost meta for a second. And we're switching to the much inferior power.
This is Walter Hall on the mound. Comes in with a 2.73 ERA.
13 pitched every pitch from so far.
Mile high pop up. Pete's got a beat on it though.
Line it up, Pete. Line it up.
Boy, might have a play at second. Well, limited the damage there. That's hard though when it's a mile high in the air like that.
Nate wasn't confident in the spot. Had to look around for it. It's the one downside of Pete. No vision. You got to be able to read it yourself.
It's another slight benefit of Sandy Flats is, it bounces and just kind of dies there for you running them on it.
You can see Matt's a fellow hit and run enjoyer. And Barbara with a long shot to the left. Not long enough.
So 2 makeable plays in the outfield, leading to 2 base runners here, and already Mattitude trying to get on the board first.
Rare misplay from Barbara. Who's the clone of Cal Ripken Jr., of course, minus the one thing we all love Cal Ripken Jr. for, the stamina bonus. Here's Big Mark.
Again, hit a walk-off dinger last time he played at home.
Ooh, dangerous pitch.
A good charge under that. Boy, misplays from every
disaster
from every player in the outfield in the first 3 plays of the game. It's a tough one to know. Pete's got to try to hustle it in.
Oh
my! What a cannon!
Sammy got super tired out, and he tried to predict the throw. Didn't happen. What a turn of events! I think we're spam clicking Sammy a little too much.
That went from utter disaster to a double play, runner at first, 2 outs. That is a big swing.
Huge props to Nate. I would be spamming the thumbs down button.
Another fly ball to left. And that one's a catch. So it took 4 fly balls to the outfield. Took it to the 4th chance to get, a catch on the fly, but nevertheless, no runs scored. A adventurous inning there.
That's the thing with Sandy Flat. It's a very forgiving field for misplays. It's something like cement, that would be an in the ballpark home run every time.
Something giveth, taketh away. Another drive to deep right, but again, that's just not the player you're hoping to hit it to, or is it commentator's jinx?
I say that's what he gets for being a dirty base clicker. You got to field those yourself.
Mike Piazza comes to bat.
Here's Mike. He's another guy who's due. 1 for 8 over the first 3 games. No extra base hits. No runs scored. No runs batted in. Could use something here.
Into the windup as the offering.
Mike has a history of being a menace online. He's overperformed most of his seasons.
How many
And
other...
I think we died.
Uh-oh.
I think we're stuck. This may be that bug where eventually it finishes the swing. We can kind of continue on, but good chance we may have just...
Well, folks, we hope you've had fun watching this contest at Sandy Flats today. No, I'm kidding. We will try to get it rolling here in a minute, hopefully, or we'll have to restart. Fortunately, top of the inning, no outs. It won't take more than a second to get us set back up. I was just about to ask, I was thinking, Mike wearing his hat backwards, how many other pros in this game have their hat on backwards?
He's also doing his bunt backwards. It's got to be the catchers, you figure, right?
Oh, because Ivan Rodriguez has his on backwards too, right?
Yeah. Which is weird because Mike is absolutely not a catcher in this game. He can't throw.
But this was still a period in Mike's career where he was catching in real life. So
yeah.
I don't know why they would have done that to him.
Yeah, the stats in game usually... I mean, especially in 03, a lot of them just not what their stats should have ended up being. Like, famously, Jim Tomei cannot hit power in 03, and that's like the one thing he's known for.
The guy has 600 home runs.
Yeah, but apparently they only get you like a 72 power.
Folks, Matt is restarting his stream for us here, so it should just be a second.
Looks like we just need to get the runner on first, and we can just play ball.
Well, we have a second too. Thinking of things that distract us. The 2024 Hall of Fame ballot is out, and it's a good handful or so of Backyard Baseball 2001 players. Beltran.
My boy Gary Sheffield got us Marlins
Gary.
a title. Big fan of him. Larry Walker's longtime teammate, Todd Hilton. Oh, and A-Rod, of course.
Our wonderful producer Alex has reminded us to remind you that you can support Backyard Sports Center on Patreon as well as the YouTube page. There's a lot of good videos being posted there.
Oh, Jibbo's been pumping out some good YouTube shorts that have gotten some traction. Those are pretty funny. Yeah, no harm, no foul. You won't have to keep a phantom score or anything.
You weren't kidding. Some of these shorts have like thousands of views. Pretty obvious that the YouTube algorithm blesses content with, Marty Cordova and the like.
Mm.
Who is it? Hey, let's play a game. What do you think about that?
Chat reminding us that Griffey's hat is on backwards.
Bring it on.
Not a catcher, but of the three that are listed that do, he's the most appropriate. I feel like for like real life. That's what the image you have of Griffey is his hat on backwards.
I was very much a hat on backwards guy. Wouldn't let us do it in Wildcat though. I always got chewed out for that.
It was cool for the era, certainly. What's the like current version of that? Like players that like unbutton their top button of their jersey, maybe? You see that nowadays? So we are back here, top of the second. It's 0-0, and should be a runner on first for Mike Piazza. Piazza was very much looking forward to this game, trying to get his first extra base hit. All that anticipation, and then the game crashes. It's just how it goes.
Hopefully Mike can take it a little easy when he swings this time.
DLW in the chat suggesting that Pablo, his hat is forward, but he feels like a backwards hat kid. I don't know.
Alexis White steps up to bat.
Big Hurt back on the mound. There will be an intentional walk to get us all set.
That was ball one. Nobody out. Ready now, and the pitch. That was ball two, and the count is 2-0. He's set. Fires. That was a ball. 3-0.
Does it feel like the number of disconnects are up this season compared to normal, or is that just me?
Absolutely.
Is that a patch thing, or?
I do not know. We do not even know what's causing it. I think it had something to do with like foul balls, but I don't think there was one there. That seems like there are different kinds of desyncs. A lot of them do happen like when they're swinging. So I don't know. It probably looked different on Nate's stream, because he probably got to see the hit.
Piazza a little over eager there, but a missed throw from the catcher is only going to get Mike at first, so the lead runner does advance into scoring position.
Donald. Gotta hustle there.
Tina looking for her first hit of the season.
Well, I don't think Tina's getting any hits here, sadly. She would need like dirt yards or just like the perfect hit to do it, because she is not much of a batter. Although who knows now with this contact buff.
The 6 speed doesn't totally hurt. Nevertheless, strikeout gives us 2 outs in the inning.
Well, she's worth it because defensively, very strong for a 7th, 8th round pick.
And here comes the pitcher, Walter Hall, who has 3 hits on the season, 3 for 7.
Yeah, Walter, not the worst bat in the world. Kind of that 50-50 bat that's decently good at line drives, I found. I have a few 50-50 bats on my team, and Dominic and Matthew, and their line drives are nothing to be messed with. I think for a minute, Matthew was leading the league in hits.
Big Hurt strikes him out to end the inning, and yeah, I think that is the clear benefit to the line drive buff. Is some of these players who might otherwise in previous seasons have been pretty meh are now maybe only slightly meh or out of the meh territory completely. Sounded pretty off the bat, but just a fly ball to short makes the play. Love that sound though. Can we get a mod where that's the sound on every hit?
We get a mod where that's the sound in 03, and I might actually play it.
Here is the Big Hurt. 4 for 8 on the season. All 4 are singles, just as you might expect with someone with that speed. But does have some good pop in the bat. And weirdly has 2 stolen bases this season. Is that right? Not that I discount our stat takers, but 2 stolen bases for Frank Thomas feels ambitious.
It's possible. I imagine there were situations with runners on first and third. If you got that going on, you steal with whoever's on first. You send them, especially if it's a fast person on third. You gotta do it. And I think most coaches now will just let that guy have second for free.
Either way, works to walk. Here
Also,
is Vicky. Go ahead.
I'm noticing Matt's a big hit and runner. It might have something to do with it too. Accidentally send them. The catcher throws it at their feet. Just finish the steal.
So this is going to be
Beautiful
interesting.
hit from Vicky.
Boy, oh boy. So does the right thing, just doesn't worry about the runner first, goes straight to second, but drops it. This is not going to be on the defensive highlight reel these first inning or two, but that's Sandy.
I'm noticing these teams are the exact same color. It's like the chameleon play in backyard football. So maybe these fielders get a little bit confused about who's on what team.
Pop fly, probably an infield fly. No.
So a beautiful hit down the gap will get called infield fly. An obvious infield fly like that, no, not calling it.
Will the game not code it with 1 out already in? Perhaps.
No, it's only if there are 2 outs it won't. Yeah, usually first and second they're calling infield fly there. That was weird.
Could be a dangerous hitter here. Meisenheimer with 81 power. 2 on 2 out here in the second. Going wild with the steel clicks. It's a lot to focus on, but if you can do it, you know.
I'm going to credit that to Matt joining the RBBL. Playing the RBBL, or the offline league, will get your hit and run skills really good.
Pretty pivotal at bat here for just being the bottom of the second.
Bases keep the line drive. No.
See, I'm with you. I've kept it line drive almost every hitter in almost every situation. But maybe hoping for a mile-high pop-up again, because if this drops, it's trouble. Boy,
not in the right spot.
Basically snow cones it. Oh boy, did the run not score? Frank wasn't home there? Oh, that's a
yeah, second base didn't make it.
Fielder's choice there. My goodness. There's been a lot of left on base.
A lot of sticky situations here. Yeah. Very complicated 0-0 here in the top of the third.
So yeah, on the line drive versus power there, I mean that's clearly what he's going for. On power, besides just hitting a home run, is just trying to get the ball in the air forever and just let the players run. But I think I'm with you on a line drive. I don't know. But it's tough with the slow runner at first. It might not have mattered. Another strikeout for Frank Thomas. He's recorded his 3 here. I don't recall if he got one in the inning before the disconnect, but
From the windup, Byer.
Frank came in with 18
Ball 2.
strikeouts already in 3 games, which would,
Here's the
I
motion.
imagine,
Cut
put
to the
him
plate.
up in pretty high territory,
Fly ball 3,
league-wide.
3-0. From the stretch and the pitch. And that's the fourth ball.
Ball 4 here to Pete. That's the second walk for Frank. Frank hadn't walked anybody this season until today.
Well, if anyone's going to score a run here, it's going to be Pete, but walking Pete is just as scary. Once he's on base, you know.
And it seemed like a pretty deliberate walk on 4 pitches, too.
I feel like he's double-checking who the catcher is.
Relatable.
A little hard to get the steals in at Sandy, but I would definitely be sending.
Strike 1. Runner on first.
Nope, didn't send there.
Into the windup and delivered. Swung on.
Little pop-up in front of the plate.
Oh, is
Donald
Donald
running
fast
over.
enough? He is.
Diving catch. It's a web gem.
And catches it. That's an out. Zings it to first. Emily Lubel comes to the plate. Here's the motion. Cut to
You
the
surprised he's not sending Pete?
plate. That's a ball. Steal.
There he goes.
Safe at second.
All we have to do is just ask him
Press
to
him
do it.
in.
Runner on second.
Trying to steal third.
To the windup and the delivery.
Come on, Nate.
Strike 1. And the count is 1-1.
I can't remember if he's somebody that normally does a lot of steals or normally doesn't. Either way, pop up in front of home plate again.
I don't think anyone can actually steal third unless they've got a complete non-arm catcher.
One left on.
Definitely a case where the scoreboard does not tell the tale of this game. Because we're now in the bottom of the third. It's been a ton of base runners, at least for the Padres. But still 0-0.
Takes the stretch. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Nobody out.
All right, we've got Cal Ripken Jr. at home. Her name is Barbara Jones. What a beautiful pitch. Oh, my God. Right in the spot.
The windup. Here's the pitch. The swing.
Wow, the rare middle pitch kind of got him. You know, most humongous league players are not expecting anything that's not a corner. You can catch them off guard with them.
I'm gonna hit this one so far.
Bit presumptuous for cartoon Mark there. Coming up.
Foul ball. And the count is 0-1.
Oh, I've definitely seen him hit it 300 and then say, man, I only hit it 500.
That was ball 1.
Maybe
he's using a metric or something. I'm not sure.
I could be wrong, but I think in real life, McGuire was like a Padres. Was he like a Padres hitting coach at some point? I think he was with the Dodgers maybe for a little bit too.
I have no idea. The only baseball I really follow is backyard baseball. Oddly enough.
Ready now. Heads to the plate.
2-strike pitch. Good eye there from Mark.
All I know is that my baseball team still has yet to win their division.
Oh, that's a smash.
Oh, that's gone.
Straight down the right field line.
Adios, baseball.
Boy, he comes up to the plate, says, promises, I'm going to hit this ball really far. What's your distance estimate there? Well, there you go.
About 252. Good whack for the season 0 home run leader, Mark McGuire. Could he be the only run 2 games in a row? Hopefully not.
Hopefully
People
not,
at
but
home,
might
let's
be.
see some more hits here.
3rd home run of the year for Mark McGuire. His 4th run batted in. His 3rd run scored. Definitely leading a lot of categories.
This one.
The stretch. Heads to the plate. Strike 1. 1 out.
little swing happy here. I can't blame him. Alex has no vision.
Swing.
You gotta really be able to read the ball to use him.
He gobbled it up.
I think that was supposed to be a throw.
Straight to first.
Oh, that's some aggressive base running.
Chucks it to first.
Boy,
Oh, you had it, Alex. You had it. He hesitated, though, and that cost him.
Jordan Foreigner steps up.
I appreciate the aggression, but
seeing he had
mechanics.
an
almost there.
opportunity to get back to first. I don't even mind the aggressive turn, but
Oh, he could have got second easily. He just hesitated.
Ready now. And deliver.
I like it, though. Keep them on their toes.
Ball one. And the count is 1-1.
their flip flops perhaps.
One pitch. That was ball two. And the count is 2-1. Target goes up. The delivery. Strike.
If he can keep it together, he's got one more
Thorner
shot.
comes in 1 for 8 on the season.
Swung on. Line drive.
Nice piece of hitting here,
Take
though.
that, 2 for
Gonna be a
9.
hit.
He gobbles it up. The throw. Chucks it over.
See, and that's just a good example. 50 power, 39 contact, but just a solid line drive to the outfield.
Call me the Big Hurt.
He's set. And the delivery. Low and outside.
Charitable call for Frank there.
The wing.
Frank giveth a walk, and he also receiveth a walk.
Field line.
Can Mike get over to it? No.
Not fast enough. I mean, slow players feel pretty bad to use, but they feel extra bad on Sandy. You're really feeling the slow speeds.
Here's the motion. The 1-1 pitch. Swing. Strike two.
It just takes a certain level of
Runner on
I don't know what the word is. I would call it masochism, but
From the line.
to choose this to play 6 or so odd games here in the
Yeah,
span of a couple months.
He's set.
And I'm playing Mattitude this week for the tiebreaker in our BBL, and chose sand there as well. So
From the windup.
just must enjoy the coarseness of the sand.
Glutton for punishment. There's been a lot
Another
of
walk.
It's been a lot of walks in this game. That's 3 for this pitcher, and Frank
All
has
3 of them
2.
involving Frank. Yeah.
Okay, that'll bring up Vicky.
Oh, that's 3 walks for Walker Hall.
Don't do the ball fast, okay?
Maybe trying to set up something here.
So Thorner's
Actually, the right move. Yeah, it's just the correct move.
fast, Vicky's fast. Can this infield
Frank
get
is
an
not.
out on Frank in second?
Ball one.
At Sandy, I see almost no way in which Vicky can hit Frank to second.
The 1-1 pitch.
So I think the walk is just the right move. We're playing playoff baseball already, apparently.
He's ready now. Throws it. Swing. Sliced it. The windup. A 2-2 pitch. The wing.
Hit it too hard.
Having a rough time of it.
Oh, Frank
Unless
is
she
really
falls
running.
down.
Oh,
Boy,
the gun to first base.
2 left on. The Pods are
Nate had to play at second.
1-1.
Did he not?
I think they were spamming Frank all the way to second. Although you can't tell from the stamina bar, geez, but end up squeezing it in there to first. I did not expect that whatsoever. A lot of close calls.
That's pretty hard to get Vicky out on a ground ball to the left side of the infield like that. But well played.
Any other field it wouldn't be.
Again, both pitchers being a little bit stingy.
I think if we're playing optimal, there's no reason ever to pitch to Fabian. Because she's so good at clogging the bases. Like, no one's ever going to score unless she gets batted in with a home run. So I would not blame him for walking Fabian here. Don't think they're going to, though.
She's
At
the
least
one
not
who
intentionally.
she's the one who fell like forever, right?
She's just the slowest player in the game. Oh, but the
My
perfect nod.
goodness. Frank was just giving her first, but game said no. 1 out here. It does say top of the third, but we did have a disconnect after the first inning, so this is top 4. No runs were scored before the disconnect, so 1-0 does hold.
5 walks in 4 innings. Well, really 3 innings. 5 walks in 3 innings. I have not seen that many walks since like me and Hunt in the playoffs season 2 when we're just intentionally walking our best batters. That's kind of crazy.
Another batter goes
Boy, never brought it back up, but Alexis fell for it. It's tough to make a swing
Classic
decision
elevator
there.
bait, and his stam is still fine. The beauty of a 100 stamina pitcher.
He's ready now. And the offering. Low and outside. And the count is 1-0. The stretch fires. Swing. Sliced it.
I see Matt of all people pitching around.
He winds.
You know, before every pitch was going in one exact spot. Now it's nice to see these guys pitching all over the place.
Folks in the chat, can anybody tell me which team in real life Mike Piazza ended his career on as he hits a fly ball to center, Jordan ranging in on it,
And he grabs it.
No using
Not gonna
baseball
make it.
reference.
Throw to first base. Safe.
and
Oh, almost.
just barely makes it.
Tina Herrera steps up.
No, it was not the Mets. He left the Mets after 2005, and he had 2 more seasons, but they were not with New York. Ground ball back to Frank here. A misthrow, and it's slow versus throw running to the ball. Big Hurt does make the play. That was pretty funny.
The Padres are winning here, up by 1.
It wasn't the Padres.
Donald Vogel.
It was almost the Padres, but not quite the Padres.
Into the windup. The pitch. Swing. Foul ball.
DLW is correct. Mike Piazza ended his career with the Oakland A's,
Sliced it.
which feels weird. Doesn't feel like an Oakland A, but
From the stretch. Cuts to the plate. The swing.
nice pitch there from Walter to strike him out. 1-0 bottom 4 here.
Yeah, I remember we picked him up for like half a season after we won the title in '97. The Marlins, that is.
Half a season. He played 5 games. This is true. 5 games.
Maybe not quite half the season. He made a slight impact.
It's a local legend.
He gobbles it up.
The people of Florida, they know him.
Right to first. He's out.
Jose really started to kick up the dust there for a minute. Almost had him scared.
I want a mod that can compare runner speed with multiple runners running at the same time. Like him and Fabian.
Stewart versus Fabian.
Could he round the bases 5 times before they round it once?
All 1 and 1.
Maybe not 5, but at least a couple.
We're going to need to time some 40-yard dashes. I would imagine the fastest player is just one of the 5 max speed players, whichever one has the most stamina.
It's like when players in real life get traded, they do teams do a workout or a physical thing. Make HCII do that before he trades. Fly ball deep
it's a
left,
pixel
but it
off.
looks like it's going to go foul, and it does. That would have been kind of fitting. McGuire hits one down the right field line, Sosa down the left field line.
And that's the 4th ball. He got a walk.
Another walk.
Boy, oh boy. How many is that combined? 6?
Yes. No, that's 7? And there weren't any before the disconnect, right?
I don't think so.
That's nuts.
Alex in the chat calling him Walker Hall, which is pretty good. Uh-oh. A little bit of a delay here.
Are we bringing in a pinch hitter?
Uh-oh. We see the
minute.
disconnect button.
Wait a minute. This might actually be the Clanky being down 1.
So unfortunately, that's disconnect number 2. We are gonna try to head back in here. So it's 2 outs, bottom 4. Something about the internet connection at Sandy Flats.
It's got to be it.
the Wi-Fi is just not very good.
I gotta mail Viscery some more Adderall. That poor motherfucker. Having to do this for every game. And if it didn't keep any of the stats, they'd have to be kept like manually. That's rough. Hopefully Nate got the stat screen. He's still busy, so he may have them.
Thankfully, Nate is getting them because I forgot. I didn't get them.
All right, Chad. Another question for you. Which backyard baseball pro went to the same high school as fellow MLB players Joey Gallo and Paul Sewald, among others? Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I know one of the characters says they're gonna hit it back to Las Vegas. I forget. Is it Cordova?
It is Marty Cordova, our favorite pro.
Oh, let's go.
Calling you, asking you to play me.
Yeah, I knew I heard that a few times. I had him last season.
When did this game actually get released? Was it in 01 or like seriously before that?
He was 2000.
Because this says Cordova's last season in Minnesota was 1999. So if it actually came out in 01, there
were a few guys that had changed teams by the time it came out already.
Yeah, Griffey's the obvious. Griffey's the obvious one. All right, folks, we have 1-0. Should be 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Thanks everybody for sticking with us here on a Friday night.
Came out in April of 2000.
If only we could do a trivia on what high school Pete Wheeler went to, but somehow I don't think he made it.
I guess the length of his bus. They probably all went to the same high school. Well,
yeah,
some of them moved away over the years.
But to the point, like canon of backyard sports universe isn't a small enough community that has one high school. I think we all could probably agree with that.
Alexa,
There's a diverse landscape.
However, big enough to have, like 8 different Little League stadiums, so maybe I'm off on that.
A bunt.
It could be a somewhat big city. There is a big industrial complex.
Say goodbye.
The game has resumed, and here we are back on back here at Sports Center. You just saw it was a bunt out in front of the plate, but should be just giving away some outs here to get us set back up.
There's a bunt.
Beautiful bunt from Mr. Mike Pizza.
Throws it over to first. He's out. Tina Herrera.
We don't hear much from Mike Piazza in real life anymore. I wonder what he's up to.
Into the windup. Pitch on the way.
I wish we could hear from him and not Jose Canseco.
He scoops it up. He throws the ball
A
to first.
somewhat decent Twitter account. I say somewhat.
The Antonio Brown of the MLB.
Jose Meisenheimer steps up.
Did we take note of Alexis coming into this game batting .875? Because that was ridiculous.
The offering.
You know, I had a note. I was going to mention that and didn't. Yeah, 7 for 8 with 5 singles and 2 homers
Zings it to first. That was a
for,
timer.
I mean, 88 power, but
She was someone I was targeting in both drafts. Wasn't able to get to her because she's like the last like really good power hitter that doesn't have like severely negative drawbacks.
what was the cutoff for power getting nerfed?
Whoops. Slide.
Like
Was it
I think it's like over
90?
90 got kind of nerfed down a little bit. So I mean, she wasn't even that affected. It's really just the contact not being the best. It's decent, but it's not terrible.
So finding like an 88 power in the middle rounds would be
Yeah.
effective.
She's
And
like third, fourth rounder.
six speed, decent eye,
Yeah.
High ball one.
somewhat rough.
Good enough of an arm to maybe play outfield or at least like
Yeah, rough
shortstop,
coordination.
second
but-
base decent enough.
That was ball two.
If anybody out there is worried about missing their OSU Missouri action down, it's 3-0 as we about approach halftime, which is about the football equivalent of a Sandy Flats game.
Yeah, Iowa versus Iowa game.
Yeah, if Iowa had a football field, it would be Sandy. Okay, so should it be one more out and then we're back? Well, now it's got
Looks like we're
Barbara
just playing.
Barbara heading away. Okay, so bottom 4 here. There was only one out. Excuse me, and
Runner on first.
Sammy at first.
Back underway. This is the bottom of the fourth.
Correct.
0-2. Ready now. He throws it. The swing.
Swings right through. Curveball there. Another K.
Mm.
Mark McGuire is up.
I'm gonna hit this one so far.
He comes center. He throws it. Strike.
That last year's Make-A-Wish kid was a lot better for Nate. Walter not doing it for me like Ivan did.
Ball one.
Like,
Ivan made him truly elite.
make a wish, kid. I like that.
The target goes up. The 1-1 pitch.
It just sucks it's got to be Quentin next year. And that's going to stink. At least Ivan had redeeming features.
The windup and the delivery.
Such as having a fan at all.
Can keep it together. He's got one more shot.
2-2.
It's kind of interesting. It seemed like he was pitching around him, but then did give him a strike.
Ball 3
Got to keep them on their toes. The fullest of full counts.
The windup. The delivery. Low and away.
Yeah, just walks him. It's tough because you can't just
Walk
pitch him.
7? Jeez. Walker
Can't
Hall
just
strikes again.
can't just bury a pitch low and away because Mark will go with the pitch as we saw earlier in the game. So 2 on, 2 outs for Alex Gonzalez. Again, no eye to make good contact here. So, but does put a charge into it. Ranging back in
whack.
left field, makes the catch.
Beautiful turnaround.
Mark was gonna clearly make it to second, so that was a run-saving play there.
Walter
We could have a
Fowl.
ton of runs in this game if it wasn't for some super clutch defensive plays.
Here's the motion, the pitch.
But alas, it's still 1-0 Padres
A blooper in foul
going
territory.
into the fifth.
So yeah, 2 more opportunities for Nate to score an equalizing run here.
High ball one, no out.
And it didn't seem like the disconnect affected the juice at all. I don't know. I guess Frank did get hyper-clicked on base, but I don't know. He was probably going to be okay.
2-2. Takes the stretch and the throw. That was ball 3. Here's the motion. He throws it. Swing. And popped up.
Pop fly. Looks like Frank.
The dive.
Oh, the diving catch.
First out.
Beautiful work, Frank.
Steps up.
It's like a Houston Astros player dives just for show when he doesn't need to.
Impressed was Walker came into this game batting .429.
And it's a foul ball.
Pretty absurd for a extremely slow player batting like that.
Target goes up. And
Of course, you can't get away with that in this field. There's just no way.
here's the motion. The delivery. Swung on. Foul. 1 out.
It's a pretty extreme sand dune in center.
Line
Like if you actually like stare at it for a minute. There's another K for Big Hurt. It would be interesting if they were able to actually design like 3-dimensional hills in the outfield instead of like just 2D surface.
Perhaps this is set in Chicago and these are the Indiana Dunes. It's the only place I can think of that looks like this.
into the windup and the throw.
Somehow in the same neighborhood as,
Bad for a kid.
you know,
He's back.
Steele and Ekman with very lush outfields.
And the count is 1-1. He winds the 1-1 pitch. Swung on.
2 strikes on Pete. We mentioned if Pete
1-2.
can get into one,
He winds
you know, he can run for days, and he's had a couple good hits to the outfield, but
and a
I believe
foul
both have been
ball.
caught, or did Pete
He winds
did
and
Pete
the
make it
pitch.
on one of those early
Swung
ones?
on.
Hard to remember.
Hard.
Little line drive to right should get through.
Jose speed costume there, but only a single. Might as well be another walk.
And,
Arlene
but I mean, he's one of those guys. You get him on first, it's basically a double. You just run with him.
from the stretch.
Yeah,
and
should be a
the
steal attempt here, you'd think.
low and away. Makes the
Yep,
break.
there it is.
Slings
And that'll work.
Fires it over.
So now you
noticed
just go ahead.
Have a
Go ahead.
runner
Are there mountains in the background? No, I see it. So I'm noticing like
throws
a
it.
beach house on stilts. Never noticed that before.
And the count
Hey,
is
The
1-1.
stilts would just be to prevent from flooding. But yeah, in the far distance looks like a Bob Ross sort of painting scene.
The 1-1
Big moment here. Arlene definitely capable of hitting a line drive into the outfield, and if so, I think you'd definitely be aggressive and send Pete home.
a blooper in foul territory. He's ready now, and the pitch. Strike three. Another
Boy.
one down.
Patient take with 2 strikes, and Arlene goes down, wastes another decent opportunity. And we're going to go into the bottom of the 5th here. Again, it is 1-0 Padres on a Mark McGuire home run. Padres won their previous game 1-0 on a walk-off Mark McGuire home run, so sensing a Sandy Flats pattern here.
He comes center. The pitch. Strike. 0-1.
Again, the Padres, if you're just tuning in, have had many opportunities in this game. Most notably, I believe it was back in the 1st inning, had 2 on, no outs, and a mile-high pop-up to the outfield that was dropped, and the runners were sent. Could have been 1 or 2 runs, no outs. Instead, a double play on the base pass saved multiple runs and kept it at 0-0. But Walter Hall throwing another K there.
But right now, I'm just glad that when I face Matt, it's at home.
this one.
No sand for me.
And people give my Ekman Acres grief.
Oh, I'm gonna keep giving it grief. I hate that field so much. I'd rather play Sandy.
From the stretch, the pitch. The swing, strike two.
What?
At least Sandy does not have Mr. Ekman, where if the game goes into extra innings, he's running out with a rake saying, get off my field. But
Ball one.
it's a pretty good take.
1-2 pitch. High and outside.
I know Mr. Steele has been known to do that from time to time.
From the windup and the delivery. Low ball 3-2.
Luckily, he's a bit of a goofball and can be reasoned with.
Target goes up and the offering. Swing. And a foul ball.
I feel like this is the millionth full count
To the windup.
we've seen this game.
Swing. Tags one.
Slugs one
Whack
into center
swing.
field, but good hustle from Pete.
Swings it.
Throws it to short, and it's
Oh
just
my
your
gosh, he made it.
classic
Beautiful.
8-6-3 put out.
From the windup, pitch on the way. High ball one.
Absolute quality cutoff from, I assume that's Tina.
The stretch, fire. The swing.
Sure as hell didn't look like Fabian. That's Fabian, you can tell.
It's another
Her
hit
lack
for
of speed
Vicky.
Costner.
Throws it to first.
Oh no.
Oh no, missed.
Yes, sir. You see that stretch, you start running. It's good awareness from old Nate there.
Donald Vogel steps up to bat.
Listen, Nate, I met Matt. I can't tell. These teams look the exact same.
We've got to contact the coaches and ask them to wear their like alternative road grays or whatever.
It's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, we're forcing the issue with Vicky a little bit. Getting a little tired out. See one issue.
Over to second. Having a run.
Oh, and there we go.
Boy, gets
It was
bailed
all
out.
worth it.
And makes it to
Yep.
third.
So yeah, that's normally the play. You're just hoping to see catcher kind of fumble it on the initial throw,
The
but
delivery. The swing.
ended up working out.
And a foul ball.
Just how he drew it up.
If you had any more stand left in the tank, I'd say to go for home because I really doubt Donald gets on. Yeah, he's just not that guy.
Easy play for her. Straight to first.
And there's the easy put out.
And that'll close up the
So here we are. We are headed to the top of the sixth.
This one so far.
It is 1-0 Padres. Last chance for Nate.
From the windup, here's the pitch. Swing. A bouncing ball. He's all over it. Chucks it to first.
And it's just the most frustrating thing. 85 power, 73 contact, 6 speed. And that's that's the contact you make here at this field.
A swing. Strike. One out.
And down by 1 with an out, with Fabian at 100 power, you're just basically swinging at everything and praying.
I mean, this should just be a walk here every time. I would not be shocked to see just 4 balls being thrown. We've already thrown 7 walks. What's an 8th going to be? Although we are up in the count here.
1-2 pitch.
Does put a good swing into it, but slow as molasses.
They have plenty of time to figure this one out.
Throws the ball to first.
You have Mark running to the outfield, Frank ranging to first, Fabian trying to beat out the play at first. Good exhibition of speed there. 2 outs.
Into the motion and the pitch.
The Yankees down to their final out
Strike one.
in the form of Alexis Weiss. Again, 88 power.
To the motion. Fire.
Came into this game 7 for 8 with 2 home runs in the season, so not the worst person to have up the game on the line.
Me pitch.
He's ready now. The 1-1 pitch. Low ball 2. 2-1. Here's the windup and the throw. Strike. 2-2.
Yankees now down to their final strike.
Ready
And
now.
Padres about to do something mean.
Strike 3.
Oh.
He has banned the batter.
Hey, down it.
Fitting. Fit again.
Halfway through the inning now. Scoreless game so far.
Good game to both players. Again, well fought. 1-0 victories, 2 in a row for the Padres at home on the backs or shoulders
They've got a brutal schedule coming up.
of Mark McGuire.
Or Nate does at least.
So Nate falls to 2-2. Tough loss for him. Snaps a 2-game winning streak. Matt now with a 4-game winning streak, and 3 of his 4 victories by 1 run. It's been an impressive run so far.
You can play out of my playbook all those 1-run wins. And Nate's got a gauntlet coming up, going against Schwilly, HCII, and myself. The next 3.
Well, at least the next
And yeah, Mattitude's got the up and coming big junior league champion Little Walls next week, which should be a good one. Then some easy opponents after that. So gets over that hump, he could easily start 6-0, 7-0.
Do we know what the next featured broadcast will be?
We do not. I lied, we do. G Slim versus P Sanchez in the Super Duper Duper League. Those are the 2 best teams.
Well, again, everybody, please support the Backyard Sports Center Patreon page. Also support the Backyard Sports Center YouTube page. As mentioned earlier, they've been very active on the shorts side of the channel and getting a couple thousand hits per on some of those. It's been pretty impressive. So why don't you join them? And for myself, Rajaz, and the birthday boy, Loba, it's been a 1-0 slugfest at Sandy Flats, as I think we expected.
Yep.
But
Classic BBOL style.
But yeah, it really was a game. I as mentioned, that I think the scoreboard doesn't tell the story, because there was, I think, a couple runners thrown out of home.
We've had bases loaded with just barely an out, last second fielder's choice. That situation.
Nate is informing us.
1-0 did not feel like a 1-0 game.
Nate informing us in the chat that Loba and Viz have the same birthday.
Were
we aware of that?
The Hoosiers, man. I swear.
Something in the water there. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in on your Friday night. See a 1-0 victory for Matt, who keeps his perfect season going. And I think that's it for us on the Backyard Sports Center channel.
Yep.